If you didn't do your homework, you might want to, you'll see it on assignments and you want to think about it. So everybody watch really carefully. At what time did Emma begin her journey? It looks like she began her journey right here. And by the way, this graph only shows you how far away from home she is. Is she 80 miles? Is she 25 miles from home? Is she 45 miles from home? So as the graph goes up, she's getting further away from home. So I thought it looked like she started at about 7:30 a.m. Did anybody else think that?
Yes.
Okay. How far was Emma from home at 8? So I'm kind of going up here, and I thought she was about 25 miles from home at 8 a.m. Did anybody else say that?
No. I said 20.
I maybe didn't.
18 because it was our 7. Yeah.
No, it's 20 because
It is 20. I read it wrong.
Exactly.
So it's 20 miles from, girls, thank you for helping, but let's keep going. Thank you. So did y'all see I just went to 8 to see how far away she was? I just didn't draw my line very well. You don't have to draw a line. Some of you just looked at it. You're just finding a point. All right, how long did Emma stay at her grandmother's house? So what happened is Emma traveled to her grandma's house, and she came back. But you can see by the graph, she, of course, sat and visited with her grandmother for a while. So, Susan, how long was she at her grandma's house?
On the sheet, I put about like 9 hours.
Okay, so
I think she stayed the night. No?
No, she did this. Do you see how it's just, she just got there and she stayed at her grandmother's house for a while? All right, what'd you get?
She stayed from 8:30 to 10 a.m.
Okay, so from 8:30 a.m. to 10 a.m., so about an hour and a half?
Oh,
Oh.
All right, so Yana, here's 8:30. She stayed at her grandma's house because she wasn't moving anywhere. Do you see how she just must have been the same distance from home? And 10 a.m., very good. So I'd say for an hour and a half she's visited with her grandmother. What time did Emma leave her grandmother's house? Sarah?
10.
10 a.m. How can you tell, Sarah?
Well, when it was like there was like a straight line and
Yeah.
it stopped. It started going down.
Looks like she's coming back toward home. How far was Emma from home at 11:45? It's kind of hard to find 11:45. This is 11:30. It looks like to me she was about, what did anybody say that did their homework? Huh? Okay, I said about 7 or 8 miles.
Can I round it up to 10? I rounded it.
She's not that far from home. Let's say 7.5 miles. All right, how far did Emma travel in total? Susan?
I think I put the wrong answer because I thought she stayed the night, but
Yeah.
my answer was 80 miles, but that's wrong. I think it's
That's probably right. You're right. So 80 miles, because how far was it to her grandma's house? It's as far as she got 40 miles away and had to come back. All right, girls, listen. We'll be doing some of this
Okay.
because graphs are almost everything. So watch this. Can anybody, don't answer right now. I want you to think. I want everybody to think for a minute. Tell me what you think happened in here. Picture yourself going home from your grandmother's house and why that graph would look the way it did if this graph looked that way and the other graph looks a different way. So what do you think, Daniela?
I think it's from her house, it's to her grandma's house. It looked like that because she's going to her grandma's house, and then from her grandma's house, that one over there looks like the way it does because she's going from her grandma's house back down to her.
But if she went at the same speed both ways, it would look the same both ways. Like she just went, whew, she went there at a certain speed. By the way, we can find the speed and then I'll get your questions. Going there, she went 80 miles, right? And how many hours did it take her to get there? Did you say? Oh, we didn't say. She started at 7:30 and she got there at 8:30. So she's driving way too fast. Looks like to me she's going about 80 miles an hour. Okay. Anyway, other ideas? There were hands up? Okay, Bailey?
Well, she could have hit traffic or like stopped.
Very good. Eliza, what were you going to say?
I was gonna say maybe there was like a hill.
Okay, maybe there was what?
A hill?
Oh, yeah, but probably would have encountered going there. Oh, I see what you mean. So maybe there was a little hill that she went down on the way there, but she had to go up on the way home. Or traffic was she went slower. She went slower and then she sped up. One thing I was thinking that happens to me when I go to work, I'm like, I got to get to work. Okay? I'm like on a mission. But when I go home, I just like sometimes fooling with my earbuds and talking to somebody on the phone, and then I get about almost home, and then I realize, oh, I was supposed to be home by 5:30, and so I speed up. Do you see what I mean? So for some reason, maybe a hill, maybe traffic, those are great. So anyway, good scenarios. All right, so let's look at did I do number 2 before I did number 1? I'm sorry. All right, so I'm going to say this really fast because it's time to go. What time did the bus leave school? 9 a.m. What time did they stop for a picnic?
10.
Great. How long were they at the picnic? They didn't ask you that.
50 miles.
They only were there for 30 minutes. Do y'all see that?
Yeah.
How far had they traveled when they stopped for the picnic?
50 miles.
50 miles. Sounds like y'all are okay with this, okay? There's probably in your homework going to be a twist where I have you, like you did for homework a while back, where you draw a graph of a scenario, okay? Check online, look under assignments. In a few minutes, you'll see it come up because I had something else planned. Bye, girls. Oh, hang on just a minute. Let me